Listen to me carefully. This moment is not ordinary, and you are not here by accident. Something within you has been stirring, knocking, refusing to let you remain as you are. You felt it in quiet moments, in restless nights, in the deep ache that says, there must be more than this. That stirring is not confusion, it is a summons. God is calling you forward, calling you higher, calling you into a version of yourself that you have not yet seen, but that has already been written in heaven. This is who you will soon become. And it begins now, not tomorrow, not someday, but in this very moment when your spirit is awake and your heart is listening. You must understand this truth with absolute clarity. God never reveals a future without first awakening hunger for it. The dissatisfaction you feel with small living is not rebellion, it is preparation. The discomfort you feel with mediocrity is not pride, it is destiny stretching its muscles. When God is about to elevate a person, He first enlarges their vision. And when He enlarges vision, the present begins to feel too tight, too shallow, too limiting. You are not losing your way. You are outgrowing it. What once satisfied you can no longer contain what God is forming inside you. Do not judge your future by your current condition. God never measures destiny by appearance. He measures by purpose. You may look ordinary to the world, unnoticed, underestimated, overlooked, but God specializes in hidden potential. He sees what others cannot see. He sees strength where others see weakness. He sees leadership where others see hesitation. He sees abundance where others see lack. And most importantly, He sees who you will soon become. Even while you are still learning who you are now, there are seasons when God allows pressure to increase. Not to crush you, but to shape you. Pressure reveals structure. Pressure exposes foundation. Pressure forces growth that comfort never could. If you are feeling pressed on every side, challenged in your thinking, tested in your patience, stretched beyond what feels safe, then hear this clearly. God is expanding your capacity. He is teaching you how to carry what is coming. You cannot step into a greater future with a small inner life. God is enlarging your inner world so your outer world can soon follow. Many people pray for change but resist transformation. They ask God for new doors while clinging to old identities. But God does not merely change circumstances, He changes people. Before He changes what surrounds you, He changes what defines you. Before He gives you more influence, He gives you more depth. Before He increases your resources, He increases your responsibility. Who you are becoming matters more than where you are going, because where you are going will demand a version of you that does not yet exist. This is why your thinking is being challenged. Thoughts you once accepted without question are now being confronted. Limiting beliefs that once felt normal now feel uncomfortable. You are no longer content with excuses. You are no longer satisfied with blaming others. You are beginning to sense that responsibility is power and discipline is freedom. That shift is not accidental. God is renewing your mind so your future will not be sabotaged by your past. Understand this deeply. God does not promote people who still think like victims. He promotes those who think like stewards. Victim thinking says, why is this happening to me? Steward thinking says, what is God forming in me through this? Victim thinking waits for rescue. Steward thinking prepares for responsibility. And you are being trained for responsibility. Responsibility over your words, your time, your habits, your attitude, and eventually your influence. This is who you will soon become. A person who carries weight without complaining, who handles blessing without losing humility, who walks in authority without arrogance. You have survived things that should have broken you. That is not chance. That is evidence. Evidence that God has been strengthening you quietly, patiently, intentionally. Every disappointment refined you. Every delay taught you endurance. Every closed door trained you to listen more carefully to God's direction. You were not being denied, you were being developed. God was protecting your future self from entering rooms too early, when immaturity could have destroyed what blessing was meant to build. There are times when God hides you, not because you are insignificant, but because you are valuable. Precious things are not displayed carelessly. They are prepared in private, in hidden seasons. Character is formed, motives are purified, and dependency on God is deepened. When the time is right, God reveals what He has refined. And when He reveals it, it stands with strength, not noise, with substance, not spectacle. Do not rush the process. Impatience is often a sign that we want the reward without the refinement. But God loves you too much to give you something that would crush you. He knows the weight of what is coming, and He knows exactly how much growth is required to carry it well. So He works thoroughly, deliberately, and lovingly. Even when you feel delayed, you are still on schedule in God's time. You must also understand that becoming requires separation. Not everyone who walked with you can walk into what you are becoming. This is not rejection, it is alignment. God often removes familiar voices so you can hear His voice more clearly. He reduces noise so clarity can increase. If some relationships are fading, if certain environments no longer feel right, if conversations you once enjoyed now feel empty, do not panic. God is pruning to preserve. He is narrowing your path so your focus can sharpen. Who you will soon become cannot be sustained by old habits. Discipline is not punishment, it is preparation. God is inviting you into a more intentional life. Intentional thoughts, intentional words, intentional actions. What you repeatedly do is shaping who you are becoming. Small decisions made daily are quietly constructing your future self. You may not feel powerful in the moment of choosing discipline, but those choices are building strength you will soon need. God is also teaching you how to speak. Words are not harmless sounds, they are containers of belief. What you speak consistently, you eventually see. This is why God is calling you to align your speech with truth, not fear. Stop agreeing with limitation. Stop announcing defeat before the battle begins. Speak with reverence, with faith, with awareness that God hears and responds. The person you are becoming speaks with intention, not impulse, with conviction, not complaint. There is a new confidence rising in you, not arrogance, but assurance. Assurance that God is with you, guiding you, sustaining you. You are learning to stand even when no one applauds. You are learning to move forward even when the path is unclear. That confidence is not self-made, it is God-breathed. It comes from knowing that your life is not random, your struggles are not wasted, and your future is not fragile. Do not underestimate the power of obedience in small things. God watches how you handle what seems insignificant. Faithfulness in small assignments prepares you for greater ones. Integrity when no one is watching builds authority when everyone is watching. You are being trained to value excellence, not applause. The world chases visibility, God develops credibility, and credibility is what sustains influence over time. This is who you will soon become. Someone who no longer reacts emotionally to every challenge, but responds with wisdom. Someone who does not collapse under pressure, but rises with clarity. Someone who no longer seeks validation from people, but draws strength from God alone. This transformation is not loud, but it is unstoppable. It is happening layer by layer, decision by decision, prayer by prayer. You may still have moments of doubt, but doubt no longer defines you. It visits, but it does not rule. Fear may whisper, but it no longer commands. You are learning to move forward even when emotions fluctuate. That is maturity. That is growth. God is teaching you to trust His character even when circumstances are unclear. Faith is not the absence of questions. It is the decision to keep moving despite them. Your future self is more disciplined, more compassionate, more resilient, and more grounded in truth. You are becoming someone who listens more than they speak, who observes before they act, who prays before they decide. Rashness is being replaced with discernment. Impulse is being replaced with intention. God is shaping a steady spirit within you, one that does not panic when storms arise. There will come a moment when you look back and realize that what once terrified you no longer controls you. The situation that once intimidated you will no longer have authority over your peace. The opinion that once silenced you will no longer define your worth. That is growth. That is freedom. And that is who you will soon become. A person anchored, not easily shaken, deeply rooted in God. You are also learning compassion through pain. God never wastes suffering. What you have endured is shaping empathy in you, giving you eyes to see others, hearts to understand, hands to help. The person you are becoming will not only be strong but gentle, not only confident but kind. Strength without compassion becomes harsh. God is forming both in you so your influence will heal, not harm. Do not despise the quiet work God is doing in you. Transformation often happens silently. There are no announcements, no celebrations, just consistent obedience and growing awareness. One day, others will notice the change, but by then it will already be established. You will not need to announce who you have become. Your presence will speak for itself. God is also teaching you patience with yourself. Growth is not instant. Becoming is a journey, not an event. You are allowed to be in process without condemnation. God does not rush you. He walks with you. Every step forward matters, even if it feels small. Consistency outweighs intensity. Faithfulness outweighs perfection. The person you are becoming is learning to keep going, even when progress feels slow. You are being prepared to carry influence, not just success. Influence requires humility. Influence requires listening. Influence requires responsibility. God is shaping your heart so that when doors open, you will not forget who opened them. Gratitude is being woven into your spirit. You are learning to acknowledge God in every victory, every opportunity, every breakthrough. This is also a season of alignment. God is aligning your desires with His purpose. What you once wanted for ego, you now want for impact. What you once chased for recognition, you now pursue for meaning. Your motivations are being purified, and pure motives attract divine favor. God trusts those whose hearts are aligned with His will. You will soon become someone who does not retreat at resistance. Opposition no longer surprises you, it sharpens you. You understand now that resistance often confirms direction. If the path were wrong, there would be no challenge. God is teaching you endurance, not passive waiting, but active perseverance. You are learning to stand firm, to remain faithful, to continue doing good, even when results are delayed. There is a calm authority growing in you, not loud, not aggressive, but steady and assured. Authority that comes from alignment with God, not control over others. Authority that influences through integrity, not intimidation. This authority will open doors that force never could. People will listen because they sense authenticity, depth, and conviction. You are becoming someone who trusts God's timing. Rushing is being replaced with readiness. Anxiety is being replaced with expectation. You are learning that delays are not denials, and waiting is not weakness. God's timing is precise, and when the moment arrives, it will be clear, undeniable, and perfectly aligned with who you have become. There will be moments when the weight of responsibility increases, but you will not collapse under it. You will rise because you have been prepared. God does not surprise His servants with burdens they cannot carry. Every increase will match an inner strengthening already accomplished. You will look back and realize that every challenge was a rehearsal for what you now handle with grace. You are also learning to forgive, not because others deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. Resentment cannot travel with you into your future. God is teaching you to release bitterness so your heart remains light and your spirit remains open. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is authority over your inner life. The person you are becoming is free from chains that once restricted emotional and spiritual growth. This is who you will soon become, someone who walks with clarity, speaks with wisdom, lives with purpose, and trusts God completely. Someone who no longer fears becoming more because they know God is the one shaping them. Someone who understands that identity is not self-created, but God-revealed. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for what God is forming. Every step, every pause, every lesson is part of a divine design. You are becoming, and becoming is powerful. God is not finished with you. What He has begun, He is faithful to complete, and what He is completing will stand strong, rooted, and unshakable in the purpose for which it was formed. There is a sacred intensity building within you, and it is not something you manufactured by effort or ambition. It is the quiet fire of purpose awakening under the breath of God. When God prepares a person for increase, He sharpens their awareness. You begin to sense when something is misaligned, when words are empty, when paths are distractions. Discernment is growing in you, and discernment is power. It allows you to move with intention instead of impulse, with wisdom instead of haste. This is evidence that you are no longer being led by circumstances, but by conviction. God is training you to recognize His voice above the noise of urgency. Many people mistake speed for progress, but God values alignment more than acceleration. When you move too fast, without clarity, you arrive early but unprepared. God slows you down not to frustrate you, but to fortify you. In stillness, strength is built. In silence, direction becomes clear. You are learning that obedience often whispers while ego shouts. The person you are becoming listens for the whisper and moves without needing applause. Your inner world is being reordered. God is teaching you how to govern your thoughts instead of being ruled by them. Thoughts are seeds, and whatever you allow to settle will eventually grow. That is why God is calling you to guard your mind with discipline and truth. Not every thought deserves your agreement. Not every feeling deserves your obedience. You are becoming someone who chooses truth over comfort, growth over familiarity, purpose over ease. There is also a refining of your desires taking place. What once excited you no longer holds the same weight. Shallow victories no longer satisfy your spirit. You are becoming hungry for meaning, for substance, for work that leaves an eternal imprint. God is not taking things from you. He is replacing them with better ones. He removes what distracts so He can give what fulfills. This is not loss, it is elevation. God is also shaping your courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. You are learning that fear often signals significance. If what lies ahead did not matter, there would be no resistance. God is teaching you to interpret fear correctly, not as a stop sign, but as confirmation that you are approaching something meaningful. Courage grows every time you choose obedience over comfort. You are becoming someone who understands that faith is not passive hope, but active trust. Trust requires action, even when outcomes are uncertain. God honors movement rooted in obedience. He responds to steps taken in faith, not just intentions held in the heart. You are learning to act with wisdom, to prepare diligently, to move steadily even when results are not immediate. That perseverance is shaping unshakable character within you. There is a new humility forming alongside your confidence. God balances strength with surrender. You are becoming aware that everything you carry is entrusted, not owned. This awareness keeps your heart soft even as your authority grows. Humility protects you from pride, and pride is the quickest way to fall from heights God intends to sustain. The person you are becoming walks confidently but bows inwardly, always acknowledging God as the source of every good thing. God is also teaching you how to wait without wasting. Waiting does not mean inactivity. It means preparation. You are learning to use sons of delay to sharpen skills, deepen understanding, and strengthen discipline. Idle waiting weakens faith, but intentional waiting builds readiness. God is training you to be faithful in unseen seasons so you can be trusted in visible ones. You are becoming someone who values truth over approval. Approval is unstable, truth is anchoring. When you chase approval, you become fragmented, adjusting yourself to fit expectations. But when you stand on truth, you become whole. God is teaching you to stand firm even when misunderstood, to remain consistent even when opinions shift. That consistency is the foundation of lasting influence. There is also a new tenderness in your spirit. Strength is being paired with compassion. God does not raise people to dominate others, but to serve with wisdom. The pain you have endured is not a mark of failure. It is a source of understanding. You are becoming someone who can speak with authority without losing empathy, who can lead without forgetting what it means to struggle. This balance makes your presence safe and your words healing. God is awakening responsibility within you. Responsibility is not a burden, it is a sign of trust. When God entrusts you with more, it is because you have demonstrated faithfulness with less. You are learning to manage what is already in your hands. Your time, your energy, your words, because stewardship precedes expansion. The future God is preparing for you requires a disciplined present. You are also learning restraint. Not every battle requires a response. Not every provocation deserves your attention. God is teaching you the power of silence, the strength of composure. Reacting gives control away. Responding keeps authority within. The person you are becoming is not easily provoked, not quickly offended, not driven by emotion. You are learning to remain steady even when others are unstable. There is a sharpening of vision happening. God is clarifying what matters and what does not. Distractions are losing their appeal. You are becoming more selective with your time and energy because you understand their value. Vision requires focus, and focus requires sacrifice. God is teaching you that saying no to lesser things creates room for greater ones. You are becoming someone who trusts God with outcomes. Control is being replaced with surrender. Surrender is not weakness, it is alignment. When you surrender outcomes to God, you free yourself from anxiety and frustration. You focus on obedience and allow God to handle results. This trust creates peace that does not depend on circumstances. It stabilizes you in uncertainty and anchors you in hope. God is also developing your endurance. Quick victories can be intoxicating, but lasting impact requires stamina. You are being trained to continue when excitement fades, when novelty wears off, when progress feels slow. Endurance builds legacy. It ensures that what you build does not collapse under pressure. The person you are becoming finishes what they start, not because it is easy, but because it is meaningful. There is a growing awareness that your life is interconnected with others. God is shaping you not only for personal growth, but for collective impact. Your obedience affects more than just you. Your choices create pathways for others. This awareness brings weight to your decisions and purpose to your discipline. You are becoming someone who lives with awareness of influence, knowing that integrity multiplies impact. God is also teaching you gratitude in all seasons. Gratitude anchors you in the present while keeping your heart open to the future. It prevents bitterness and nurtures joy. You are learning to acknowledge God not only in victory, but in process, not only in abundance, but in learning. Gratitude keeps your spirit light even when your responsibilities grow heavy. You are becoming someone who recognizes that strength flows from dependence on God, not independence from Him. The world celebrates self-sufficiency, but true power comes from alignment with divine wisdom. You are learning to consult God in decisions, to seek guidance before action, to remain teachable even as your understanding increases. This dependence does not limit you, it enlarges you. There is a quiet boldness forming in you, not reckless, not loud, but resolute. You are becoming comfortable, standing alone when necessary, trusting that obedience is more important than agreement. God is teaching you that isolation in obedience is temporary, but compromise has lasting consequences. This boldness protects your future and preserves your integrity. You are also learning to release outcomes that no longer serve your growth. God is showing you when to persist and when to pivot. Discernment is teaching you the difference between perseverance and stubbornness. Knowing when to let go is as important as knowing when to hold on. The person you are becoming listens closely and moves wisely. God is reshaping your understanding of success. Success is no longer defined by speed or visibility, but by alignment and faithfulness. You are learning that a quiet life aligned with God is more powerful than a loud life driven by ego. This redefinition brings peace. It frees you from comparison and anchors you in purpose. You are becoming someone who understands that identity precedes activity. You do not work to become valuable, you work because you are entrusted. God is grounding your sense of worth, so your actions flow from confidence, not insecurity. This grounding stabilizes you in criticism and keeps you humble in praise. God is also preparing you for seasons of expansion. Expansion requires flexibility. Rigid thinking cannot adapt to new responsibilities. You are learning to remain open, to learn continuously, to adjust without losing core values. This adaptability will allow you to grow without fracturing under pressure. You are becoming someone who walks with quiet authority, deep compassion, disciplined focus, and unwavering trust in God. Every step you take is shaping the next version of you. Every choice matters. Every moment is formative. God is present in the process, guiding, refining, strengthening. What is unfolding within you is deliberate, purposeful, and powerful. You are becoming, and that becoming is aligned with a future that carries weight, meaning, and lasting impact under the guidance and sovereignty of God. There is a refining clarity entering your spirit, a seriousness of purpose that does not come from pressure, but from understanding. God is teaching you the value of alignment over excitement. Excitement fades, but alignment endures. When you are aligned, even ordinary moments carry power. You begin to see meaning in tasks others overlook, opportunity in places others dismiss. This vision is not imagination. It is insight granted by God to those who are ready to see beyond appearances. God is also teaching you the discipline of consistency. Breakthrough is often the result of sustained obedience rather than dramatic moments. You are learning that showing up faithfully, even when enthusiasm is low, builds a foundation that sudden effort never could. Consistency shapes identity. Over time, what you repeatedly practice becomes who you are. The person you are becoming understands this and honors the quiet strength of daily faithfulness. There is a strengthening of your moral resolve taking place. God is anchoring you in values that do not shift with circumstance. When standards are unclear, confusion follows. When values are firm, direction becomes steady. You are becoming someone who knows where they stand and why they stand there. This clarity will protect you when compromise is tempting and pressure is intense. God is also awakening wisdom in how you handle conflict. You are learning that not every disagreement is an enemy and not every challenge is an attack. Wisdom discerns intention and responds appropriately. You are becoming slower to assume, quicker to understand. This maturity preserves peace without sacrificing truth. It allows you to stand firm without becoming hardened. You are beginning to recognize the difference between activity and fruitfulness. Busy lives can still be empty. God is teaching you to measure progress by impact, not motion. You are becoming intentional about where you invest your energy, choosing actions that align with purpose rather than those that merely fill time. This discernment will multiply your effectiveness and protect you from exhaustion. God is also cultivating patience in your communication. Words spoken too quickly can wound. Words spoken with wisdom can heal. You are learning to pause, to weigh your words, to speak from understanding rather than reaction. This restraint is not silence born of fear. It is strength guided by wisdom. The person you are becoming speaks when it matters and listens when it is needed. There is a deeper trust forming between you and God. Trust grows through experience, and you have seen enough to know that God is faithful even when outcomes are delayed. This trust allows you to release anxiety and embrace peace. Peace is not the absence of challenge. It is the presence of confidence that God is at work beyond what you can see. You are also learning the value of preparation over prediction. The future is not something you control. It is something you prepare for. God is teaching you to build capacity rather than speculate outcomes. Prepared hearts respond wisely to unexpected opportunities. Prepared minds adapt without panic. Prepared spirits remain steady in change. God is reshaping how you view authority. Authority is not control over others, but responsibility for influence. You are becoming aware that true authority flows from character. People follow those they trust, and trust is earned through consistency, honesty, and care. God is forming these qualities in you so your influence will be lasting and constructive. There is a growing reverence in how you approach decisions. You no longer move casually through important choices. You understand that decisions shape direction, and direction shapes destiny. God is teaching you to seek wisdom, to consider consequences, to act thoughtfully. This reverence protects you from regret and aligns you with purpose. You are also learning resilience, the ability to recover without resentment. Setbacks no longer define you, they refine you. God is teaching you to extract wisdom from disappointment rather than allowing it to harden your heart. Resilience keeps your spirit flexible and your hope alive even after loss. God is awakening gratitude for lessons learned through difficulty. You are beginning to see that growth often comes wrapped in challenge. Gratitude reframes pain into preparation. It allows you to honor the process without glorifying the struggle. This perspective strengthens you without diminishing compassion. You are becoming someone who understands the power of example. Actions often speak louder than declarations. God is shaping your life to communicate integrity without explanation. When words and actions align, credibility is established. This alignment will open doors that skill alone cannot. There is also a strengthening of your inner boundaries. God is teaching you how to protect your time, your energy, and your focus. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are gates that protect what matters. The person you are becoming understands that saying yes indiscriminately leads to dilution of purpose. God is preparing you for seasons when clarity will be tested. In those moments, conviction will matter more than consensus. You are learning to stand firm without becoming rigid, to remain open without losing direction. This balance is the mark of maturity. You are also discovering that humility allows growth to continue. Pride, loses doors, humility opens them. God is keeping your heart teachable so your development never stagnates. Even as understanding increases, curiosity remains. This posture invites continual refinement. There is a deeper compassion forming in how you view others' journeys. You are learning that everyone is in process, shaped by experiences unseen. This understanding fosters patience rather than judgment. God is forming a heart that sees people through the lens of potential rather than limitation. God is also teaching you how to endure success with the same integrity as you endured struggle. Success tests character as much as hardship does. You are being prepared to remain grounded, grateful, and generous when opportunities expand. This preparation ensures that growth does not distort your values. You are becoming someone who understands that faithfulness is measured over time. Quick gains can fade, but sustained integrity builds legacy. God is shaping you with a long view in mind. preparing you for influence that lasts beyond moments and seasons. There is a quiet assurance growing that you are not alone in this journey. God is present in your questions, your efforts, your waiting. This awareness brings courage to continue even when clarity is partial. You move forward trusting that guidance will meet you as you go. You are also learning to recognize when to rest. Rest is not retreat, it is renewal. God values rest because it restores perspective and strength. You are becoming attentive to your limits, honoring them so your service remains sustainable. God is shaping your understanding of purpose as service rather than status. True purpose lifts others, contributes value, and reflects divine wisdom. You are becoming someone who measures success by contribution, not recognition. There is a steady deepening of your inner life. Depth brings stability. Surface level strength fades under pressure, but depth holds firm. God is cultivating this depth so you remain anchored regardless of circumstance. You are becoming someone who walks forward with awareness, wisdom, humility, and courage. Every lesson learned, every habit formed, every decision made is shaping who you are becoming. God is attentive to the process, present in the shaping, faithful in the unfolding, guiding each step with intention and care as the transformation continues to take form under His sovereignty. There is a sacred recalibration happening within you, a divine adjustment that is aligning your spirit with higher responsibility. God is not merely preparing you to receive more, He's preparing you to carry more without losing yourself. Capacity is being expanded quietly, deliberately. You are learning how to hold truth without becoming rigid, how to bear weight without becoming bitter, how to walk in authority without losing tenderness. This balance is rare, and God forms it only in those He intends to trust. You are beginning to understand that clarity often comes after obedience, not before it. God does not always reveal the full picture because full understanding is not required for faithful movement. What is required is trust, and trust is growing in you. You are learning to take the next step, even when the entire path is not visible. This kind of faith does not depend on certainty. It rests on confidence in God's wisdom and goodness. God is also teaching you how to confront without becoming combative. Truth spoken without love wounds, but love spoken without truth weakens. You are being shaped to hold both. There is a firmness entering your voice that does not intimidate but steadies. There is compassion entering your presence that does not excuse but restores. This combination gives your words weight and your silence meaning. You are becoming more attentive to timing. God's work is often disrupted, not by wrong actions, but by right actions done too early. You are learning restraint, waiting for the signal, rather than forcing the moment. Timing transforms obedience into effectiveness. God is sharpening your sensitivity so you recognize when to speak, when to move, and when to remain still. There is a deepening reverence for truth unfolding in you. You no longer bend truth to fit convenience. You no longer adjust convictions to avoid discomfort. God is anchoring you so deeply that storms may test you, but will not uproot you. This rootedness gives you courage to remain consistent in environments that reward compromise. You are also learning the sacredness of responsibility. Responsibility is not pressure imposed from outside. It is commitment accepted from within. God is training you to honor commitments even when emotions fluctuate. You are becoming dependable, steady, trustworthy. These qualities may not attract attention immediately, but they attract trust. And trust opens doors no ambition ever could. God is awakening awareness of legacy within you. You are beginning to think beyond immediate outcomes, beyond personal gain. You are asking, what will endure? What will matter years from now? What will remain when applause fades? This perspective shifts your priorities. You invest differently. You speak differently. You choose differently. God shapes those who think in generations, not moments. You are also being taught to navigate solitude without loneliness. There are seasons when God draws you inward, not to isolate you, but to deepen you. In solitude, distractions fade and truth becomes clearer. You are learning that solitude can be sacred, a place where God strengthens resolve and clarifies direction. The person you are becoming is not afraid to stand alone when alignment requires it. There is a sharpening of discernment in how you receive advice. Not every voice carries wisdom. God is teaching you to listen carefully, to weigh counsel, to discern motive. You are becoming selective not out of pride but out of stewardship. Guarding your spirit is part of honoring the future. God is shaping. God is also training you to remain grounded in uncertainty. Uncertainty no longer paralyzes you. It positions you to trust more deeply. You are learning that stability does not come from predictability, but from faithfulness. When circumstances shift, your foundation remains. This stability allows you to be a calm presence in chaotic environments. You are becoming someone who understands the cost of calling and accepts it willingly. Calling demands sacrifice, discipline, and patience. God never hides the cost, but He also never withholds the strength to pay it. You are discovering that the cost refines rather than diminishes, strengthens rather than drains. There is a renewed sensitivity to integrity forming in you. Integrity is alignment between belief and behavior. God is teaching you to live consistently, not compartmentalizing faith and action. This integrity gives your life coherence. It allows you to move forward without internal conflict. You are also learning how to recover quickly. Recovery is a sign of maturity. Setbacks no longer trap you in shame or regret. You acknowledge, learn, and move forward. God is teaching you resilience that restores momentum rather than prolonging stagnation. God is expanding your understanding of service. Service is not self-neglect. It is purposeful contribution. You are learning to serve from fullness rather than depletion. This allows your service to remain life-giving rather than burdensome. God sustains those who serve with wisdom. There is a growing awareness of sacred moments in ordinary life. You no longer wait for dramatic signs to recognize God's presence. You see Him in daily faithfulness, in quiet obedience, in unseen perseverance. This awareness fills ordinary moments with meaning and strengthens your resolve. You are becoming someone who honors process. You no longer despise beginnings or rush endings. You understand that formation takes time and that every stage has purpose. God is teaching you patience with unfolding, trust in timing, and gratitude in progression. God is also deepening your understanding of peace. Peace is not escape from responsibility, but confidence within it. You are learning to carry responsibility without anxiety, to lead without fear, to decide without panic. This peace guards your heart and steadies your mind. You are learning to interpret challenges as invitations to grow. Challenges stretch capacity, sharpen wisdom, and reveal strength. God does not shield you from difficulty. He equips you to rise through it. Each challenge you face is shaping the strength you will soon need. There is an increasing alignment between your inner convictions and outer actions. This alignment creates clarity. When life is aligned, energy flows freely. You move without inner resistance. God is forming these alignments so your efforts are effective and your focus remains sharp. You are becoming someone who values depth over display, substance over show, truth over trend. God is shaping you to be rooted rather than flashy, enduring rather than impressive. This depth sustains influence long after novelty fades. God is present in this becoming. He is patient in the shaping, intentional in the process, faithful in the unfolding. Every layer formed, every habit refined, every belief strengthened is moving you toward a future that reflects His wisdom and purpose, a future that continues to take shape as you walk forward under His guidance and authority. Now let this truth settle deep within you. You were never meant to drift through life unaware of your calling or disconnected from your Creator. You were shaped with intention, formed with wisdom, and sustained by God for a purpose that reaches beyond comfort and convenience. This moment is an invitation to stop living on the surface and begin walking with awareness, reverence, and courage. God is nearer than you think, calling you not with condemnation, but with purpose-filled love that restores direction and ignites resolve. Examine your life with honesty and humility. Ask yourself where fear has replaced faith, where distraction has diluted devotion, where comfort has silenced conviction. This is not a call to shame, but a call to awakening. God does not expose to humiliate, He reveals to heal. He invites you to lay down what no longer serves your growth and to rise with renewed commitment to truth, integrity, and obedience. What you surrender now will make room for what truly matters. Choose today to realign your steps. Let your thoughts reflect trust, your words reflect truth, and your actions reflect reverence for God. Do not wait for perfect conditions or complete understanding. Begin where you are, with what you have, and with a heart willing to follow. Every sincere step toward God reshapes the direction of your life. Every moment of obedience strengthens your spirit. Every act of faith deepens your connection to the one who guides and sustains you. Walk forward with courage rooted in humility. Let your life become a testimony of quiet strength, unwavering integrity, and steadfast devotion. When challenges arise, stand firm. When uncertainty surrounds you, remain faithful. When success comes, stay grateful. God honors those who seek Him with sincerity, who walk with awareness, and who choose purpose over ease. Let this be the moment you decide to live deliberately, to believe deeply, and to trust fully. God is worthy of your devotion, your discipline, and your hope. As you move forward, carry this truth within you. You are known, you are guided, and you are held by God. Walk in that assurance, live in that light, and let your life reflect the depth, strength, and peace that flow from wholehearted devotion to God alone.